Welcome back, my fellow Chibits, to the weekly Chibit questions. Now, I know it's Friday, and I usually do these on Wednesday, but I was very busy Wednesday, and I did not have time to do this, and because of Hunter x Hunter on Thursday, obviously did not have the time. So, here I am Friday to make the Chibit questions. So, let us begin. Demi-chan OVA just came out on Crunchyroll. Have you seen it, and could you possibly make a review on it? I have yet to get around to watching it. I'm going to definitely watch it today, and I've heard it was really good and all that. Like, there's a possibility of a continuation or a season 2, for instance, coming out very soon because of the latest OVA for Demi-chan, like episode 13. So, I want to check it out. I don't know if I'll do a review on it. It depends on the content and what's in it and all that, if there's a lot of things I can talk about. But overall, though, I will get around to watching it because I did love myself some Demi-chan. Is there any series/movie you want to watch besides the new anime season? So you're talking about the new stuff coming up from Summer of Anime 2017. Anything I would like to watch? I guess I would like to get around to watching Cowboy Bebop, I guess. Or, I would like to watch Ghost in the Shell. Those are a couple of things I've been kind of interested in starting. And also, I would like to start, what's that other? Oh yeah, Hellsing as well. I would like to start Hellsing. So, those are a couple series I would love to watch besides the upcoming stuff from this anime season. Is there any new mangas you've been reading? I need something new to read. Any new manga? Well, I have been rereading Tower of God. I've been reading the first season, so I'd recommend that. It's not necessarily a manga, it's a webtoon or a webcomic, but I would recommend that if you want something cool. But if you're looking for more of a manga style, I've heard some good things about the Ballroom, like the upcoming anime that's coming out. The manga, one of my close friends I play with constantly on Xbox, he told me that holy hell, Jacob, like, the Ballroom was a really good manga, and this is coming from a dude that doesn't necessarily read stuff like that, and he was telling me, like, it was a really great manga, and I would have already started reading it if the anime wasn't coming out, but, I mean, if you really want something to read, maybe check out that Ballroom manga, which, you know, the anime is coming out for Summer of Anime 2017. Another manga series that I've been reading on the side, I've been trying to get back into, Ubel Black. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's kind of been, when people recommend that series, many like to say that it's like Berserk, and honestly, I don't completely see that yet, but it's another great series I've been reading on the side. Another recommendation, new manga that you want to read. I guess let's just go with some classics I have personally read. I mean, if you've never read, let's see, Bakuman, I really recommend, you know, reading that. Bakuman is a really good manga. Another good manga, obviously, I can see you have JoJo, so you like JoJo and stuff. What about Monster? Have you ever read Monster, or have you ever read, let's see here, Pluto, or anything like that? I would recommend some stuff like that. Pluto, you know, Monster. I mean, if you want something really good, those are some recommendations I have for you. Will you vote for The Rock in 2020 if he runs for president? Wait a minute, is that legit? Like, did he actually say he was gonna run for president or something? Because, I mean, I don't know if he would make a good president, but if there is one thing that Donald Trump has taught us all when it comes to presidency, anyone can become a president in America. Because, I mean, if someone like him can get in office, well. Have you read the manga Devil's Line? It's a pretty good romance manga. To be honest, haven't heard of it, but I will definitely make a mental note of it and write it down somewhere. And probably look at the first chapter once I'm done editing this video and all that. Because as you all know, I love my romance manga. And judging by the name called Devil's Line, I'm assuming it's going to have supernatural. I do like myself some supernatural romance. As long as if it's not too focused on the harem aspect. I hope there's not harem, I hope it's like a strict romance series, which would be very nice. So, I'll check it out after this video, but I personally have never heard of it. Do you ever watch a series/movie or read a manga to induce sadness or happiness? I watch Clannad to let out all of my feels. That is a very, very, very good question, and yes, I do, actually. There has been many times I have watched a series or read a manga to where I want to actually feel happy or feel sad. It's like one of those big things I like when I read, like, tragedy series. Like, okay, let's take an example of a manga. I know you asked for series like a movie or an anime, but let's take an example of, you know what, no, let's back up, actually. Let's not talk about manga. Let's talk about, oh, man, that would be spoilers, too, man. I don't want to talk about fucking spoilers, God. Okay, this is gonna be spoilers. Game of Thrones spoilers right here. The latest season of Game of Thrones, okay? Or not the one that's coming out in a couple months, you know, not the newest one has trailers and stuff. I'm talking about, like, you know, the previous seasons of Game of Thrones, okay? So if you're not caught up with Game of Thrones, and for some reason you're watching, like, this video and you're trying to catch up to it, and you just don't want to hear spoilers or whatever, I recommend muting it, and then when you see the next question pop up, then, you know, unmute it and continue on. But anyways, getting into it, spoilers alert, just spoiler alert for Game of Thrones. Okay, so let's say inducing sadness or happiness. See, one of the big things I liked about Game of Thrones, and a good example of it, is, like, I love to have sadness and then get into happiness or happiness into sadness. I like the mix of emotions like a series can give me, and Game of Thrones is kind of like that. Like, let's look at the Battle of Bastards for a second, okay? In the latest season of Game of Thrones that came out, the Battle of Bastards was such an emotional fight. It was like everything that was wrong or, like, evil in Game of Thrones was coming after Jon, and Jon had to stand up and fight with his, you know, soldiers, and when he actually ran in and he didn't look back at the men behind him, he was like, I fucked up. And everybody in their mind, when they saw that, they were like, oh, fuck, he's dead. Like, everybody got emotional and all that. I got sadness, but at the same time, it was badass. And this man straight up doesn't look back to just make sure anyone's behind him to help him out. He thought he was just fucking that in. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. If I want to die, I'm going to die with, you know, a blaze of glory. Man pulls out a sword, has an Aragon moment from Lord of the Rings, and just looks like he's about to charge him, and the horses pop up. That was a great mix of emotions in that, from, like, tragedy to happiness in that one given moment, and then shift over into tragedy again with a couple of scenes later, and then back into happiness, too. Just, I love that about series, to where it can make you feel very sad. Like, you're like, fuck, I'm so sad, but then you get the happy, you're just like, yes, yes, and all that. That's what I love. I love that about series. And so, yeah, I do go out of my way to try to do that to myself. I do. It's why I love Berserk. It's why I love Tokyo Ghoul. I always love stuff like that, seeing characters getting destroyed, broken down, getting back up again. It's stuff I love. I love that shit. That fuels me. It really does. And so, yeah, I do. I completely agree, and I do stuff like that. So, yeah. What is the worst non-animated movie you've ever seen? So you're not talking about anime or manga right now, or, you know, anything like anime related. You're talking about actual, like, movies, like legit unanimated movies. I've seen a lot of shit movies in my time. I have. But, there was this one movie I watched a while back. I forget the entire name. I think it was called The Blob, The Purple Blob, or something like that. I found out about it because of, you know, another YouTuber I watch. He was talking about The Blob, and basically, I decided to go around and just watch a bit of it, and I just couldn't finish it. I watched, like, 20 or 30 minutes of it. I think the name of it is The Blob, but I could be wrong there. I don't remember the exact title. It's like this purple blob monster looking thing, but it was so bad. It was atrocious. It looked so... Dude, it was so bad. It was so bad. Like, yo, that was like one of the worst things I have ever seen. Like, oh, like, okay, Berserk. I'm sorry, Berserk is beautiful. Like, the anime of Berserk is beautiful compared to what that was. I'm like, yo, that's so disgusting. Just, I want to say right now, that's probably the worst movie I've seen. What is your favorite weapon you have seen used and that you would like to have from an anime? Also, you're great. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. And you're great as well. And all of you Chibits out there are great. Hopefully, you're having a very good day as well. I should have already asked that, but hopefully all of you are having a very great day. So, let's see. What weapon would I want from an anime? I would say Excalibur from Fate. Stay Night. I really like just the way Excalibur looks in Fate. Like, you know, the anime of Fate. So, yeah, I would say that was something I would really love to have. And also have the effects of it. Like, you know, the particle effects where Saber can hide it. I would really love that. That's probably the one weapon I've always thought that was so cool when I watched an anime. And if not that, if you're bringing in manga, I would say the Dragon Slayer. Like, I would legit say the Dragon Slayer from Berserk. I love the Dragon Slayer's design. It's very simplistic, but it just works. I love the way that sword looks. So, yeah, I would say Dragon Slayer if you were talking about manga. But since you're talking about anime, I would say Saber from Fate Stay Night. Who do you think will die next from the Phantom trope? Okay, so this might contain a little bit of spoilers, FYI, so if you're not caught up with Hunter x Hunter, I don't want to spoil you, FYI. So, who do I think will die next from the Phantom trope? Well, we already know a couple died thanks to Hisoka, and he's hunting down the rest of the, ones. Honestly, I have no clue. I'm going to assume that Kuro is going to be one of the last ones to die, because I feel like we're going to probably have Kurapika versus Kuro. That's going to be a thing, because of their abilities and how they can take people's abilities. I feel like both of them are going to go up against each other, and I can definitely see something like this happening. Like, let's say Kuro and Kurapika go at each other, and Kurapika manages to lock him up and all that, like, you know, tie him down with his chains, and then he snatches his ability and kills him. I wonder if, because Nin After Death, you know, Nin After Death is a thing, I wonder if Kurapika was to take the man's ability, would he have that ability since Nin After Death? Would he be able to keep it or something? Would he be able to have Kuro's ability of Skill Hunter and take abilities and stuff? And would that make him a bigger target for someone like Hisoka? Would Hisoka come after Kurapika because he was able to kill Kuro? Because Kuro beat the shit out of Hisoka, and Hisoka knows this. So if Kuro was to go down to Kurapika, he's gonna be like, fuck, I'm coming after you. And I could definitely see something like that happening. So just imagine that. Just imagine if, you know, Kurapika stole Kuro's ability, took him down, and killed him. Hisoka would come after him. But, getting back on to the main topic, okay? I'm getting a little bit off topic. I really don't know who will die next, but I know for certain most likely Kuro will be the last one to die. He might probably die to Kurapika, but he'll definitely be the last one to die. Would you kiss Filthy Frank on the lips? I mean, I'll kiss my boy Papa Franku like that. I'll kiss him right on the lips. What do you do when you can't sleep, and what rating would you give this season's anime? Well, most likely, the norm what I've been doing recently, I've been playing a bit of Pokemon. That's what I've been doing. I've been playing, Pokemon Sun or Moon. Actually, Moon. I don't have Sun. But I've been playing, you know, Moon. I've actually completed the Pokédex literally yesterday. I finally captured every single Pokemon, and I have the shiny charm. I'm going to start hunting shinies and stuff for Pokemon. That's what I've been doing now when I just cannot sleep. Besides that, what things I do when I can't sleep besides playing games, usually I read a book. I just straight up read an actual legit book. Not a manga, just a book. And that's what I do just to bypass time, and eventually I just pass out. What would I rate this season's anime? You're talking about Spring of Anime 2017? Spring of Anime 2017, it was an okay season. A lot of the continuations is what really carried the season, because, I mean, Boku no Hero Academia, to Attack on Titan, to, you know, Shingeki no Bahamut, Virgin Soul. I mean, there were some really good continuations, some solid continuations, but that doesn't mean that the season was ass. There actually was some good anime original series, the new series just popping up. There was some good stuff. I mean, we had The King's Avatar, we had, you know, Recreators, which, holy shit, very good series. Glad that's carrying over. I mean, Arrow Manga Sensei, depending if you like trash, like, you know, certain trash. I mean, yes, the series trash, but it can be entertaining trash. So, Manga Sensei to, let's see, other series, Suka Suka was a really good one. Grimoire of Zero was kind of okay. It started off okay, and the ending was kind of, and yeah, I just didn't like where the ending conclusion of it went. Overall, I would say there's some good shows, like The Salesman and all that. There is some good ones. It just, yeah, it's not the best season I've ever seen. I mean, Tsukigaki Rei was great. I wish I could have talked about that series more, but as I've said already, I just don't want to make a video on it, put in title, description, whatever, because that series from that studio is completely off limits. But Tsukigaki Rei was a beautiful series, probably one of the best things from the season in terms of just new stuff. Very, very, very fucking good romance series. Like, really fucking good romance series. Like, I say you need to watch that. If you love romance, you gotta see that fucking series. It's so good. It's so good. But, I would say this anime season had a lot of good stuff. Not just continuations, but it did have some good stuff. So I'd rate it probably a solid, I would say 7. I would say a 7, because I've seen better. I would just say a 7. A 7 out of 10. That's probably what I would give it. Maybe an 8, I don't know, but probably 7 out of 10. Would you rather live your life without knowing anything and never being able to learn, or die knowing everything but not tell what you know? Like, so you're saying, like, ignorance is bliss for the first one, and then the second one is, I know everything about the world, the existence of everything, but I just can't share this knowledge. Now, here's the question I gotta ask. Ignorance is bliss, because if you go with a life of ignorance, obviously you won't ever know anything, and since I will live my life without knowing anything, that means I'll make a lot of mistakes without knowing that I made a mistake, so that could lead me to having a very short life, most likely. So, ignorance is bliss in that term. I would say I'd be very ignorant. However, the second one is being able to know everything, but, you know, nobody will know. I won't be able to tell anyone. I would say I'd choose the second option, die knowing everything but not being able to tell people what I know. Here's the thing that you didn't really clarify about that one. Since I die knowing everything, does that mean that I can use that knowledge to do whatever I want? Okay, let's just say on a realm of hypothetical, okay? If we're talking about, hypothetical situations. If I knew everything, okay? Let's say I knew everything about reality, to how it works, everything. Would that mean that I'd be able to make things that, could literally tamper with the very fabric of reality, okay? Could I do shit like that? Could I literally manipulate the fabric of reality? As long as nobody knows I'm doing it, technically, am I allowed to do that? Because the way you worded that is, no, I can't tell anyone. So would there be ways I can work around this? Since I can't tell anyone, can I still manipulate shit? Could I manipulate the very laws of physics? Could I, do something, make something that, nobody knows what is, and I just don't say I made it? I mean, could I do stuff like that? That's what I'm very curious about. That's what I'm extremely curious about. So, judging by the way you word these, I'd probably choose the second option. I would die knowing everything, but just not being able to tell anyone. That's probably what I would choose. Because the first one, most likely, I would live a very short life. Because most likely, since I don't know anything, I would not have a moral compass. So I wouldn't know, for instance, let's say I was a serial killer, I could probably kill someone and not even realize. I wouldn't even realize there's something wrong with that. I wouldn't. That's the way you word that makes it look like I don't have a moral compass, I can't learn. Literally, I'm so ignorant that I wouldn't know what right from wrong is. And so, I would live a very short life or very bad life because I'd probably be locked up. That's just how it is. So, I would probably choose the second option. When you hit 200,000 subs, will you do a 200,000 special where you cosplay Holo? As I've said many times in the past, I have no problem with cosplaying. The problem is I just don't own the stuff to cosplay. Now, if any of you ever sent stuff like that, you let me know. I would gladly cosplay for a special. Seriously, I'm not even joking. I would. I seriously. That's just how it is. What are your top 3 favorite tools from a tool chest and top 3 worst tools from a tool chest? They cannot be the same. Hammer, pliers, screwdriver. Those are the top 3 best tools. Top 3 worst tools would be a crowbar, because Half-Life 3, never happening. Measuring tape, a power drill, because power drills can fuck up quite a bit. So, there you go. Those are the 3 worst tools in a tool chest. What if Berserk of 2015 and Fairy Tail switched animation? Berserk would look beautiful, but it would still be a trash adaptation, because the animation is what I don't really have a problem with when it comes to Berserk. Yes, it looks like shit, okay? Don't get me wrong. The animation Berserk looks atrocious. It's disgusting. It's honestly an abomination. However, that's not the big reason why I dislike the Berserk anime. I've said many times, I can overlook shitty animation as long as the core content is good, the way it's delivered. And they don't even follow the manga properly. It's censored, which Berserk obviously is going to need those censors because it's just so gritty and dark that there's just no way to bring Berserk to anime format without making a movie that isn't CGI trash, which we've already seen. And they still couldn't even follow the manga properly. So what I'm getting at is that it's, even if they switched animation, it wouldn't change a thing. It wouldn't change a thing at all. It wouldn't. At the end of the day, it would not change anything, because the adaptation is still trash. It would look better, but it's like making trash smell better. It's like going to your trash bin and just putting Fabuloso all over it and then making it smell good. But even though you made it smell good, it's still trash. It's still fucking moldy and disgusting. That's just how it is. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that one. So it wouldn't really change much. If your waifu is a ghoul, are you willing to get eaten? Now, when you say something like this, you're talking about, me dying, or just, have a piece of me get eaten? If we're having, something like Kimi and Nishiki, you remember how Nishiki bit Kimi and took, a little chunk out of her? Would it be something like that, or would it legit be me dying? Would my waifu completely kill me? Would that be what you're talking about? Because you haven't really clarified between the fine line here. Would it be a situation like Nishiki and Kimi, or would it be to where I fucking dead as hell? So, but even then, if my waifu is a ghoul, I don't think she would actually want to kill me. So most likely, she'd probably just get a chunk out of me if she really needed it, like Kimi and Nishiki. So if it came down to that, and she was in that state, I'd be fine with it. I wouldn't let, my waifu die. I wouldn't allow that. So, yeah, I probably would. Who will kill the other one first, Hisoka or the spiders? Hisoka will probably kill the spiders, because at the end of the day, we gotta remember Hisoka's been built up as kind of like the final boss of the series. I mean, there's probably gonna be other things crazier out there that's gonna overcome Hisoka, but from everything from the beginning of the series, with Hisoka's build up and how he's been waiting for Gon to kill Kurapika and Leorio and all of them, he's kept them around and letting them grow stronger. Hisoka's been built up as a guy that's gonna go up against them, and he's gonna be like that final obstacle for them to really overcome. And so I honestly believe that Hisoka will probably kill the spiders before the spiders kill him. Honestly, that's how I feel. But this is Togashi, and he can do some crazy shit, so who knows. Can we be friends? Obviously we can be friends. Seriously, you don't even need to ask that question. Among cockroaches, frogs, and chickens, which do you think will become successful if these decided to dominate the world? So you're saying, like, if humanity died, or would we still be alive? Regardless, though, if one or the other tried to dominate the world, like that was a thing that was going to happen, I would say out of all three, cockroaches, frogs, or chickens, chickens are brain dead. They're legit brain dead. Frogs, they don't really have long lifespans, and they're kind of just, I don't think they'd probably live long either. I would say cockroaches. I would say cockroaches would probably be the one being that would probably dominate the world. Now, hear me out, okay? Cockroaches, those bitches are durable. Like, they're really durable. Like, you can cut off their head and they can wander around for a while without their head. Now, chickens, yes, they run around for maybe a couple minutes or seconds, but cockroaches are savage little fuckers. These things are legit savage and all that. So I would probably say cockroaches would dominate the world. Do you think we'll see the old one-eyed king soon? We might. We might see the old one-eyed king soon, because, I mean, when you think about where we're at with Ayato and all of them, to thinking how the series is starting to get ramped up and probably into the final arc of part 2, we're probably going to see the one-eyed king. Most likely, the one-eyed king's introduction is going to be similar to the reveal of Eto at the end of part 1. You remember how Eto was revealed to be the one-eyed and all that? And since Ashita loves his parallels, most likely there's going to be a scene like that. The one-eyed king revealing himself, and it's going to be a shocker, and it parallels with Eto revealing herself for the first time. I believe most likely something like that. So it's probably going to be near the end of part 2, or it could even happen this arc. I don't know. We'll just see where it goes, but I definitely could see it happening within a year or so. When's the What Will Chibi Watch for fall 2017? Get the fuck out. How have you been? Any interesting developments? I've been fine. In terms of interesting developments, I've been very busy with a lot of personal things, and one of these days I will talk about it. But besides that, I have been looking into getting, like, some form of new home to stay in. Like, I've been looking into, like, some mobile homes and stuff, so I'm thinking of getting one of those very soon. I'm going to be going next week for an appointment to look into one, so I guess that's an interesting development. I'm just looking into something else, you know, just to change the scenery and having a better place to stay in, because as I've said many times, this place is kind of running down. It doesn't have insulation. I literally got like newspaper insulation, and you know, I don't have central air and heat. I would like to have something that's comfortable and I can actually appreciate and enjoy the many different seasons of weather throughout the year. So I guess that's an interesting development. I'm looking into getting a mobile home, and like I said, I have like some form of an appointment next week to look into to see if, you know, it's going to be good or not, or if I'm going to get it. So yeah, I guess that's one of the big things, and there's some other personal stuff which I'll discuss at a later time. What do you think of this meme? When she decides to bite you and you're at the climax. Accurate as fuck. Smash or pass? I would have to pass on that one, but I feel like this dude most likely would really get along with Grape-kun. That's in the zoo, you know, the penguin. I feel like this dude would probably really get along with him, trying to hunt down their waifu, because, yeah. Oh, and who's your favorite boss fight in Pokemon's Moon and Sun? Captain, Kahuna, Team Skull, Lusamine, Elite Four, etc. I would probably say one of the final boss fights, Lusamine, when, you know, she gets a part of that Pokemon, one of the Ultra Beast, and her hair changes, all that. That was a really badass fucking moment. So I'd say that was my favorite, and I also love that boss theme. If you were a character in Nanatsu no Taizai, would you rather be a demon, a fairy, a holy knight, or a giant? I most likely would want to be a fairy. I've always had a thing for fairies, and I love wings and stuff, so I would probably say fairy. I would love to be one of them. So did you start part 5 of JoJo or not? Yeah, I started part 5 of JoJo, and yes, that's a JoJo reference. Thoughts on the fall of Crunchyroll and Funimation? Dive TV, Amazon, Welcome to the Ballroom. That's the name of the series. Welcome to the Ballroom. Welcome to the Ballroom, Amazon. Battle Girl High School, High Dive. What? Fate, Netflix, Symphogear, Amazon, Hajimeta, Amazon, Kakiguri, Netflix. Oh, fuck. That's gonna be hard to get then. Made in Abyss, Amazon. Oh my god. Miracle Examiner, Amazon. Princess Principal, Amazon. Holy shit, Amazon has grabbed a shit ton of shows. Some really good ones at that. Like Fate? Netflix has grabbed Kakiguri. Made in the Abyss is by Amazon. Koi to Uso is from Amazon. Oh my god. Welcome to the ball. Bro, what the fuck? Crunchyroll, what is going on? You're letting shit slip through your fingers. Funimation, Crunchyroll's getting fucked up. These are some really big titles they're letting slip through their fingers. I mean, I can understand they don't want to compete with Netflix, because Netflix is just a powerhouse, but wow! Crunchyroll, you're getting demolished! They used to be the king of everything, now they're not getting barely anything anymore. Shit. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Holo number 1 and Rim number 2, yeah? But if so, who is number 3? I don't have a number 3. I just finished watching Attack on Titan Season 2. Should I start reading the manga? Since you've already been waiting for 4 years for Attack on Titan Season 2, I feel like it wouldn't hurt you just to wait another year for the next season to come out. And the reason why I say this is because, I mean, honestly, the anime is way better than the manga. It does the manga so much justice, so I would say just wait for the anime. Seriously, you only gotta wait a year instead of 4 years. Just wait. Seriously, it's a lot better than the manga. Diane or Mount Lady? Mount Lady. I like Mount Lady's design and all that. I don't know. Something about Mount Lady I really like. What question you're tired of people asking you? I guess how tall I am? Like, how tall are you, Chibi? How tall are you? How tall are you? Yeah, I guess that's one that really gets to me. I just got back from South Africa and tried sandboarding there. Have you ever tried sandboarding while dabbing like me? Got that dab down nicely, my dude. But no, I've never dabbed while, sandboarding. And honestly, I haven't been to the beach or anywhere actually with sand in a good long while, like that much sand. So no, I haven't been sandboard. Would you ever consider doing a Chibit meet and greet? Yeah, I would definitely do one. In the future, I'd like to do a meet and greet maybe at a con or something. That would be definitely something I would like to do. Is Toka now best girl in TG in your opinion, or are you still on Eto's side? I love Eto. Like, I really love Eto, okay? She has some things about her that's just rather like, whoa, like just out there. But I gotta admit, from what I've seen from Toka in the latest chapters, she's definitely she's great mother material and a great wife material. I would probably say Toka is best girl just because of what she has been doing these latest chapters. She's honestly surpassed all my expectations. I prefer if Eto was still alive or around and was with Kaneki. I still prefer that, but I gotta admit, I cannot look past that. I guess it's time for me to move on and accept Eto's dead as hell. I would say that Toka is definitely best girl because, honestly, she's best girl because the other girls are dead, basically. All the other best girls are dead, so I guess Toka is best girl now in a way. I mean, by order of elimination. I mean, I like Akira, I like Hinami, but Toka's just proven she's a really good character. So yeah, I would say Toka's best girl. Who would you rather fight, Gel or Prime Artorias? And hope you're having a great day, Chibi. Thank you so much, and hope you're having a great day as well, and all of you Chibits out there. Who would I rather fight, Gel or Prime Artorias? I would get destroyed by both of them in like less than a second. That's how crazy they are. I would say I would have a better chance with Artorias, though, than Gel. Now, hear me out, okay? The reason why, this is going to be spoilers, obviously, but the final DLC has been out for a while, so, I mean, if you haven't played it, you're probably not going to play it. But, anyways, I would say the reason why I'd have a better chance with Artorias is because there's just no way he's near the level of Gel. Gel is the Dark Soul itself. The man is literally the Dark Soul combined into one, and the only thing that's left is you, the player, to face him. Like, when you reach that stage to fight Gel at the end of Dark Souls 3, the Ring City DLC, the man is the only one basically left alive in all of existence. And you're the only being there to be able to stop him or fight him. And so you're at the end of the world. You're literally at the end of the fucking world, facing against Gel the Dark Soul. And it's like, this man has become a god. And you, since you have slain gods, you might as well consider yourself one of them at that moment. Ghoul is ridiculous. The way the man is literally fighting you, lightning's coming down and all that, and you just see this big vast desert as he's fighting this big colossal battle with you. Ghoul was basically a god, so I would say you would have no chance of fighting him. Prime Artorias, you would still get your ass beat. You would still die instantly, still. You'll still die. There's just no chance. But you would have a better chance with Prime Artorias because that man, at the very least, isn't god level like Gel was. Like, that man was the Dark Soul. Prime Artorias isn't that. He was just corrupt. He's a great knight, very powerful, but he was nowhere near the level of where Gel was. Just gotta say that. So, I would choose Prime Artorias. If you could only have a son or a daughter, which would you prefer having? I would like a son to get him into Dragon Ball. I would. I would like to have a little son to get into Dragon Ball or anime, possible stuff like that. I would definitely like that. And so with that, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry about this Chibit questions being a little bit late. You might see this early Saturday morning. Please forgive me for that. But you all have a very, very wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.